I think they'll be, after they get the power, they'll be chill. They'll just be like, hey, you guys could visit.
Hey, it's cool, bro. Thanks for the loan.
No more beef cuss.
Hey, we good now, bro.
All right, this is going to be a really big moment in JK News. We're going to search the Epstein files for Nick Dunn.
Direct. Because they've been getting too many fake ones on Instagram.
Oh, I told you I'm good.
He's clean.
What about Nick the Ear, though?
He's clean.
Oh, you didn't check my other name.
It's like a NASA launch. Hey, good job. Yeah, you're good.
They find Joe Rogan, and then they're just like, because they wanted to go to his show or something like that. Yeah.
John Jones is in it.
Yeah.
Talk about how he's his favorite fighter.
But what about NTE training?
Baby. Oh, yeah.
Oh, you got lucky.
All right, so
Capable.
let's talk about different rumors or anything you've heard having to do with the Epstein files. What things do you believe that haven't been proven yet? That you are like 100%, no, that's...
I do believe whatever we're reading, it's like 10 times worse.
That's okay.
So I believe that Trump gave Bill Clinton a blowjob.
You believe the Bubba thing? Yeah,
I believe it.
Okay.
I believe it.
Video of Donald Trump sucking off Bill Clinton.
Because that's what the email says, right? Like it says, like send the video of Trump blowing Bubba.
Video? I think it was the Epstein's brother or something.
You find the email?
Type in Bubba.
The actual one?
Yeah.
What type Bubba? B-U-B.
Oh, dang, kind of a lot of them.
A lot of PDFs out there.
Putin
Putin has photos of Trump blowing Bubba.
Yeah, data set 11.
That's it.
You and your boy Donnie can make a remake of the movie Get Hard.
Wow.
Yo, the jokes these guys have, huh?
Jeez. Oh, man. I don't know where the line is. Oh, wait. Where's the line at?
What's up with all these fucking black squares and boxes and shit?
I think it's, I'm number 11.
Motherfucker,
That
dude.
one.
Oh, here. Ask him if Putin has the photos of Trump blowing Bubba. What the heck, dude? So for those of you who don't know, Bubba is Bill Clinton's nickname. And that's not new info. Like that's what they throughout his election, throughout his presidency. That's kind of his thing.
They shot this one down quick when it came out. When the headlines came out, they're like, "Oh, Bubba's actually not Bill Clinton. We don't call him that at all anymore." Like that's total misunderstanding. Like that's fucking fake news, dude. What are you talking about?
Who was it? The person that said that if everything actually came out, the system would collapse.
Pam Bondi.
Pam Bondi said that.
Fuck
right?
it, but that was their whole thing. Drain the swamp, right? They gotta fucking drain the goddamn swamp.
This is a good chance to bring up the, I guess, the overarching plot, which is you were mentioning earlier off camera that what we're seeing right now is almost like a change from the old guard to like the new power.
Because my question has always been, all the stuff that we see publicly, all that, it's because they allow it.
It's curated.
None of it is out. Like things don't come out like as a real leak or anything like that. It's because it's allowed, right? And then a lot of people will be like, well, Trump's on their team and all that stuff. And I was like, well, if he was, why did they spend billions and billions of dollars to prevent him from being elected? And so I think what's going on is that, so back in the day, in medieval Europe, right? All the royals are related. They're all like, closer to, they are like by blood than they are over the people they rule. So what happens in the way that like a lot of the times it's brothers going to war. A lot of the times it's like dad dies. I have the throne. No, you have the throne. No, whatever, right? So then they divide up the country and it's two brothers going to war. They get bankrolled by typically a Jewish guy because Christians weren't allowed to give out loans. So they would all work together and they would basically engage in warfare, right? But the royals won't fight. The royals won't ever kill each other directly, but they'll send an army against each other. But what did they all do behind closed doors? They all talk, they'll go to parties, they're all hanging out, whatever. So like, I think fast forward to the world leaders of today, they're more closer to each other than we are to them. So on camera, they'll represent the people. And this is where like, I think a lot of people feel misled by like a lot of like Pam Bondi, Kash Patel, even Trump. They're like, this time it's going to be different. When they get into office, it doesn't actually play out the way that we thought it would, right? And I realized why. And I was like, okay, well, he's like close with Hillary and all that. So in the surface, they're going to play their chess games and they're going to battle it out. But in like real life, they're actually just friends, right? But then they're all power hungry. So if it comes down to it, they'll backstab their friend because they want to win. So who's backing Trump? There's a new elite that's coming out, which is the Silicon Valley elite, the Peter Thiels and the Elon Musks and all that. That's why Elon was simping for Trump during the campaign. That's his backing. People go, well, Trump's, he's been rich for a long time. He's friends with all these guys. Yeah, but he wasn't a part of the club. So the club is like, you'll have the old American families, like the Bushes and the financial elite, right? Trump is basically like a car salesman to him. So they make fun of him. He's not a part of this. So he has a chip on his shoulder. So he's coming in with this new backing. And then there's this new group, the West Coast elite, that wants to take over the old group. So you got the tech oligarchy who wants to create, basically a tech slave state, right? And so they're using AI, they're using all this tech, and they're releasing these things, and they're like, who cares, right? All the old people that were in power, they're going to be wiped out. We're going to bring in some new folks in. And then a lot of people don't know that politicians actually don't have power. They're all puppets. They're all just actors. So they're being sponsored by. So they're not the ones that are, all these people in the files, they're just celebrities and politicians. We don't see any like
people of influence that can be
No.
controlled and manipulated.
Yeah.
If they have blackmail of them.
Epstein literally says, right in Rothschild, I represent the Rothschilds. He goes,
He got hired by them.
exactly. Those are his real handlers.
25 mil to represent them because they were like, I forgot what they were doing. I think it was, they were investigating some Swiss banks or something like that. I forgot what it was.
Yeah. So those are his real.
Are they still in power? The Rothschild? They're still like,
Oh yeah. They're one of the most influential, powerful families. And in the way that they came up to being a super powerful family is
Eating children.
no. So this is the great grandfather or whatever, right? I think he was a central bank of Europe. So he developed the central bank of the nation. And then he sent all of his sons to run other central banks of other European nations. So they made hella fucking money by lending to both sides. But it's an old thing. Now going back to the medieval times, right? So like let's say you're a banking family, and so you have these royals that you lend money to. But royals have an army, right? So what happens if a king goes, you know what? You guys aren't even a part of this nation anyway. You guys are like Jewish and you're not Anglo. So I don't have to not only pay you, but I could kick you guys all out. I could kill you. And it has happened before. So what did they do? All the banking cartel, they get together and they fund another king. They do it today, but it's called a dictator. So now it's like, oh, you don't want to pay? All right. Well, we're going to fund your opposition. We're going to fund their army. And then they're going to come take your ass out. They're going to take over all your assets. And then we're going to now own. It's a repo, basically. They're hiring a repo man. So they play the game today. It's just that when you look at it as Game of Thrones and people wearing like, these royal outfits, you think that's how it used to be. But it's like, no, it's still being played today. Yeah.
Damn.
that's crazy.
But I thought it was pretty interesting how this is all becoming public now. So it's like, this is all like everyday discourse. And I'm wondering why. And my main theory is they're doing it to desensitize us. So then they can start boldly doing things openly without worrying about like getting canceled. In the past, 20 years ago, right? Like it took much less to take down powerful people. So like Bill Clinton got impeached for lying about getting a blowjob, right? Back then it was like, oh shit, that's fucking scandalous. Now it's like, who fucking cares?
Yeah.
You got a blowjob? Okay, so what? Right? So then what if it gets to the point where it's all desensitized, where it's like, oh, politicians and all these powerful people, they do PDF stuff, they do whatever, and everyone's like,
That for sure gets suppressed.
right?
Like when a politician gets popped for, a kid or sexually abusing something, I feel like you hear that in the news cycle for like one day and then it's gone.
It's gone.
You don't hear it. There was a guy in Trump's cabinet that got popped for abusing a kid who was for like 7 years or something like that.
Yep.
Barely heard about it, right?
There was a huge scandal in the UK because they caught an actual pedal ring with politicians.
Yeah. But then
It's
people are mad
crazy.
about Bad Bunny performing at the concert and shit. Like, who gives a fuck?
More when a politician or any celebrity has a heterosexual affair, that's infinitely more covered. than like a PDF one.
Yeah, dude, because it's way sicker, dude.
You know when you start pulling at like this string, right? Like the more you pull at it, you kind of see like, oh, where the knot is going, or like where it ends up going. How much do you think it pulls? Because I feel like there's like something that everyone wants to say, but it's scared to say, which is like how much control Israel actually has over.
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
You know,
I
like
think
all
a lot
over.
of people are terrified to say that Israel is playing their hand.
If they say something about it.
Well, I think people are just so, and I don't hold it against them because I think like as a society, we've put in a lot of years on training each other to shame anti-Semitism.
100%.
Yeah.
And I
In our
understand
movies, everything that
And
we watch
I
growing
don't
up.
feel like I don't feel like I'm an anti-Semite, but I think like, you know, that trying to be both things is difficult because you have to be really considerate. You can't just
But what's not fair to me is that I don't even see them as Jewish people. I see them as a criminal organization that uses Judaism and all these things as a shield.
it's a shield.
So it's kind of like saying, like, let's say
Like ISIS or the Taliban.
bingo. So it's like you're being anti-Arab and whatever. No, I'm anti-ISIS, right? I'm anti.
I call you Islamophobic because you don't support like a
Yeah, because if you think about how the Orthodox Jewish community feels about Israel, feels about all this stuff, they're actually against it too.
They don't like Zionism as a
They
whole.
don't like it.
Well, yeah, when you, I think even if you were to ask ChatGPT, there's a lot of protections on there against making you feel like, you know, the Jewish people are doing something wrong. But if you were to ask statistical questions like in politics and in people of power in the United States, is the Jewish person overrepresented? It will tell you yes. Because in the way that if you had Filipinos in Congress or Filipinos in parliament or all these positions, I think people would notice pretty quickly. You know what I mean? But like, because they're Jewish and they just seem like white people, I mean, you have people that are just saying like, oh, there's nothing weird about that. But if you kind of, you know, take a second and just sort of just look at it almost like metric wise and just look at the data,
The numbers.
it's not an even amount.
But one of the craziest ones is how many of our politicians have dual citizenship with Israel.
Yeah.
Which that doesn't fly with any other country.
No.
Or we just look at the mayoral debate in New York, right? Out of like the 7 people on the panel, they ask them, where's the first place you're gonna go after you become mayor?
Israel.
Israel. And then Mamdani says, New York, I'm gonna stay in New York. Everyone's like, what the fuck? Who the fuck is this guy? And it's just like, bro, what? It felt like the weirdest like reaction where I was like, and then they'll be like, oh, it's my 3rd time this year, and then a pause break. Okay, that's fine. Like, there's nothing wrong with visiting Israel, whatever.
Yeah.
But it's like, why is that the question? And is that the expected response? You know, like,
Yeah.
is that what they wanted to hear? It just, it's so like, it's odd to see, you know, like if you would just watch it for what it is.
There's entire charts that you can watch, or you can actually read these charts of politicians with their faces, and it shows how many of them have either Jewish dual citizenship or they're just a Jewish person.
Yeah.
Like, it's staggeringly high, and I get it. A part of me also would like to admit that if Israel is in charge of this entire system that we've been living by, it's kind of sick. I would like to live here still.
Yeah.
So I'm not entirely opposed to like what they've done if they are responsible for creating all this, but also once that tide turns and it's no longer in favor of me, I don't have any power.
But that's the
Yeah.
criticism, right? It's like, okay, we're doing everything we can to support, sending money all the way over to Israel. And what do American people have? Not that much, right? American people, the basic American is like, I feel like we have no good health care, you know, but we're sending all this money to Israel. They have really good health care, apparently.
But
you know what I'm saying? Like,
there's a touchiness about that too, because like as much as we're sending money to Israel, whatever, like the joke is like, oh, I've seen enough. Send another 500 trillion, please. But like our system here is so compromised that if we didn't send that and we just gave it to ourselves, it's fucked anyway.
yeah.
It's a little bit like there's a lot of like
a really
house
broken
cleaning that we
system.
need.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then you talk to about like you look at all the senators, all the people that are supposed to represent America, right? and you ask them a simple question, like, what's the deal with APAC? And they all go, yeah, it's so funny you bring that up.
That's the part. It's the lack of transparency.
You
Yeah.
see that over and over and over again. And then as Americans, it's like, what are we supposed to think?
Yeah.
Are we supposed to think like this is totally fine?
We don't have an example of what things could be like if another group ruled. So like, let's say
That's true.
we're under the impression that America is an Anglo like society, right? But the reality is it's compromised. I think it's actually more of a Israeli American society.
Yeah.
And they're the ones that set up the culture. They're the ones that built the financial institutions. They're the ones that are really in power, right? And then so like you think it's this Christian, Protestant Anglo, like on the surface, but they're not actually running shit. So then, if they were, right, what would the world look like for America?
Megachurch.
That's what I'm wondering. Yeah, would it look like Salt Lake City?
Sundays would be sick.
President Michael W. Smith.
Right? Would it look like Salt Lake City?
Yeah.
Would it, would it look like, I don't know,
Honestly,
like Charleston? I don't
Salt
know.
Lake City is probably the closest thing.
Right.
But it's like, but even if we go
That
like
sucks.
more shallow than that, right? We look at a lot of people will criticize our involvement of going to Iran, of attacking Iran. A lot of people will say that it's not really for the best interests of the United States, but it's in the interest of, fighting against Israel's enemies, right?
That's my biggest issue.
Israel's our ally.
Yeah, exactly. And anytime Israel does something crazy, we got to back them up. We got to send, we got to give them aid, right? And it was all the same arguments that people had against Ukraine, right? It was the same thing. Like, why are we sending all this money to Ukraine? Like, we can't even do this. We can't even do that. But then now we're having evidence of we're doing the same thing for Israel. And a lot of people are calling it out. And then people that call it out are getting in massive trouble.
Yeah.
Right. So it's like, it's also from outside looking in, you're like, this is something's weird here.
That's where I draw the line is that I do like that now people are waking up to the fact that, maybe sometimes when U.S. goes to war, it's not just because U.S. wants to go to war.
Yeah.
But also at the same time, the one thing that I
been saying that, right? We've been saying that since Iraq. We've been saying that
draw
for...
my line at the fact that you can't question this shit. And I don't like that.
We have to be able to as citizens.
I don't like that. It's against the policy of the platform you're using.
And then
That's crazy.
And then they'll arrest you or they'll come after you. And they're saying like public sentiment about this on our U.S. government being like, oh, if you say these things, we will come after you pretty much.
And I would love to have somebody just disprove it to me and engage in a discourse where they can go, oh, hey, here's where you have it wrong versus just silent.
Yeah.
And like now I can't use anything. Like,
And no one could talk about it.
and yeah, no one can talk about it.
Well, there's two things to it, right? So like one is, I'm against the fact that anyone that is a part of public office should have dual citizenship. I think they should have all of their allegiances to U.S., but because then it's like, then they're going to use the U.S. and our resources to do their agenda. And it's not a 50-50.
Imagine if we had a senator from China. Dude.
So exactly.
People would be so mad.
So exactly. So if it was flipped in that way, and then let's say we were doing special interests for China, Americans are going to be like, why are we doing this ching chong shit?
They're going to set him on fire, dude.
Why
They're
are we
going to go to his
invading
house.
Taiwan so that China could gain more ground?
Dude, missile immediately.
Yeah. But here's a double-edged sword. We actually need war. So
Yeah.
a big one, and
That's the game, right?
so like the world's tied to the dollar, right? So we need to have the dollar being the currency that everyone trades in, right? Yeah. But the way that the economy works and the way that everything works, we have to throw away money. It's just a part of the game. If you don't have a war, because war is basically a way for us to dump the inflation money to control the money supply. Because we printed a fuck ton of money during COVID.
Hell yeah.
And every single time we print, we have to figure out a way to dump it out of our system. And that's where wars come into play.
To regain the scarcity?
That's why when people go, why are we giving so much to Ukraine? We could fix so much in the US. Yes, we can fix a lot. But this is not what I feel is right or wrong.
This is just how they do things.
This is a double-edged sword because it fucking sucks. Like, yeah, we want to get out of debt. We want to fix the world. We want to do this stuff, right? So one is they need poverty. They need poor. They need classes. And the reason why is because no one's going to want to work. If we can actually live in a world where everything is set, resources, there's enough of resources, we can feed everybody, it can actually happen. But the way our money system works is you have to kind of constrict that. everyone can't have the supply. So the biggest way to destroy the money is going into wars. So if Israel wasn't the group of people,
Somewhere else.
it would be it could be Canadians, it could be something else.
Who would you want though?
Who would I want? Hawaiians.
Oh wow! Bring their property value, like yeah.
houses in Lanai, bro. What the fuck?
I don't think they're gonna want to fucking kill anybody. You know, they're like
That's true.
Their rules would be like, hey, I'm a fucking man. I'm a fist fight. None of this spy shit.
They're gonna eject all the Howleys though. They're gonna make it back to old school Hawaii.
I think they'll be after they get the power, they'll be chill. They'll just be like, hey, you guys could visit.
Hey, it's cool, bro. Thanks for the loan.
No more beef cuss.
Hey, we good now, bro.